The great hall of the Galactic Council was silent. High-ranking alien leaders from different species sat on tall, glowing chairs. Their faces were cold, and their eyes filled with fear. A giant screen in front of them showed images of humans, standing strong, fighting, refusing to surrender even when outnumbered. "They are dangerous," hissed Lord Vicar, a tall, gray-skinned alien with sharp yellow eyes. "No other species is as reckless, stubborn, and violent as humans. They are a threat to the entire galaxy." A short, fat alien named Koro nodded. "We tried to control them. We gave them warnings. We sent armies. Yet they fought back again and again." Another council member spoke. "If we let them love, they will one day destroy us all." The council leader, Grand Overseer Krell, raised his hand. "Then it's decided. The last surviving humans will be exiled to Class 15 Deathworld, Corther 7. Gasps filled the room. Class 15 Deathworld was known as the deadliest planet in the galaxy. No species had ever survived there. The air was thick with poison. Storms of acid rain fell without warning. Giant beasts roamed the land, and the nights were freezing cold. The ground itself burned during the day. "It's the perfect place," said Krell, a cruel smile on his face. "Let them face the horrors they deserve." The council approved the order. Within hours, human prisoners, men, women, and children, were gathered from their ruined cities. Bound in chains, they were loaded onto old prison ships. The aliens mocked them as they passed. "Say goodbye to your lives, humans." One alien guard laughed. Another spat. "You won't last a single night on Corther 7. But the humans did not cry. They did not beg. They stood silent, their eyes burning with something even stronger than hatred. It was something the aliens had never understood: human defiance. Among them was Captain Elias Reeve, a tall man with a scar across his cheek. Beside him stood Dr. Myra Lane, a clever scientist known for her sharp mind and bravery. Reeve looked at his people and spoke softly. "They think this is the end. They think this world will break us. But they don't know what humans are made of." The ships blasted into space, heading for Corther 7. Inside, the humans prepared for whatever awaited them. Some held their children close. Others sharpened makeshift weapons from scraps. Even without hope, they refused to give in. When the ships arrived, the planet below looked like a monster. Thick black clouds covered the sky. Rivers of fire ran through rocky valleys. Strange creatures with long claws and glowing eyes moved in the distance. Alien officers watched from above, placing bets on how long the humans would survive. "I give them 6 hours," sneered one alien. "No more than 3, laughed another. The humans were thrown out of the ships, landing hard on the rocky ground. The air smelled of ash and death. The sky flashed with green lightning. Yet not a single human screamed. Captain Reeve helped a young boy to his feet. "Stay close," he ordered. The aliens watching were confused. Why weren't the humans panicking? Why weren't they running in fear? Dr. Myra Lane studied the surroundings. "We'll need shelter before nightfall," she said quickly. "And weapons. We don't know what's out here." An old soldier named Garan pulled a sharp piece of metal from the ship's wreckage. "We fight like we always have," he grunted. "Together." The humans gathered around, listening to Captain Reeve's orders. Even the children stood brave, their small faces set with determination. As the first storm began to rise, the aliens watching from orbit laughed. "This is it," one alien officer smirked. "Now they'll scream." But what happened next was not what they expected. The humans worked together. They used broken ship parts to build a wall. They placed rocks to block the wind. The bigger men stood guard, while the women and older children gathered what little resources they could find. When the first giant beast attacked, a monstrous creature with 6 legs and a mouth full of sharp teeth. The humans fought back. Using sharp metal and burning debris, they killed the beast. Its blood stained the ground. In the control room above, the aliens stared in silence. They killed it, one whispered. How is this possible? Another asked. Captain Reeve stood over the dead beast, his face grim. Is this all you've got? He shouted into the night, as if daring the planet itself. The humans gathered around him, tired but alive. We make our stand here, Reeve declared. We survive. The screen flickered in the alien council chamber. The room was silent once again. The aliens looked at each other, fear creeping into their hearts. Perhaps they had made a terrible mistake. Darkness fell quickly on Corther 7. The black clouds covered the sky, hiding the stars. Strange green lightning flashed in the distance, lighting up the dead, twisted trees. The air was cold, heavy, and smelled like burned metal. Captain Elias Reeve stood near the broken prison ship, watching the horizon. He could feel the ground shaking under his feet. Something big was moving out there. Something that didn't care if it was day or night. We don't have long, said Dr. Myra Line, walking up beside him. She carried a bundle of sharp metal rods she'd collected. The creatures will come when the storms start, Reeve nodded. Around them, the other. Humans were hard at work. Some dragged heavy pieces of wreckage to build a wall. Others broke sharp stones for weapons. Even the children helped, carrying small rocks and strips of metal. No one cried. No one begged. No one asked to be saved. In orbit, inside a sleek alien command ship, Commander Relek watched the scene on a large screen. His pale face twisted into a smirk. Look at them, Relek chuckled. Trying to build a wall, as if it will save them. The other alien officers laughed, placing bets on how long before the humans were wiped out. I give it 2 hours, said one. Not even one, sneered another. But down on Corther 7, the humans moved fast. Captain Reeve organized groups, hunters, builders, and watchers. Old Garen and a young fighter named Liam volunteered to guard the perimeter. Anything moves out there, you shout, Reeve ordered. We're not dying tonight. The first storm hit as the last piece of the wall went up. The wind screamed. Like a living thing. Acid rain fell from the sky, hissing and burning wherever it touched the ground. People huddled under the wreckage, covering themselves with metal sheets and beast skins. Dr. Mira worked quickly to create a cover for the children. The acid rain struck the shields with angry sparks, but the humans stayed quiet, their faces set like stone. And then the growl came. A deep, bone-shaking sound rolled across the ground. The earth trembled under its weight. Red eyes appeared. In the distance, then another set, and another. From the shadows, 3 monstrous beasts came forward. Each one was bigger than a battle tank. Their bodies were covered in thick, scaly armor, and their mouths were filled with long, sharp teeth. Green slime dripped from their jaws out in the command ship. Commander Relek leaned forward. Yes, he whispered. Now we'll see them break. The humans didn't run. Captain Reeve grabbed a long metal pole. Ready yourselves, he shouted. Use the traps. Stay together. Earlier, Liam had set up crude spike pits using sharp stones and branches. Now he led the beasts toward them, waving a burning torch. The first beast lunged, and Liam dove aside. The creature's weight sent it crashing into the spike pit. The sharp rocks pierced its belly, and it let out a terrible roar. The second beast charged toward the human's wall. Old Garen stood at the front, holding a spear made from a ship rod. For Earth, he roared, and drove the spear deep into the creature's neck as it tried to climb the wall. Blood sprayed, and the beast fell, shaking the ground. The third creature reached the shelter. Dr. Mira grabbed a broken engine pipe and stabbed it in the eye. The beast screamed in pain. The others threw burning debris and sharp stones until it turned and fled into the storm. Silence fell over the battlefield. The humans stood there, their clothes soaked in acid rain, their faces burned, their hands bloody, but they were alive. Commander Relic slammed his fist onto the console. "How?" he shouted. "They were supposed to die." An officer spoke softly, fear in his voice. "Commander, they killed the beasts. 3 of them." Relac's face turned pale. Back on the planet, Captain Reeve looked at his people. "We fought them off," he said, his voice steady. "This planet won't kill us. Not tonight." A cheer rose, weak but proud. The humans gathered what they could from the fallen beasts. Tough hide for shields, sharp bones for weapons, meat for food. Doctor Mira found a small cave nearby, its entrance hidden by stones. It was deep, dry, and safe from the acid rain. They moved the children inside first. As dawn broke, the deadly storm faded. The humans looked around at the wasteland they now called home. But there was a new look in their eyes. Not fear, not hopelessness, but something fierce. Captain Reeve spoke softly to himself. "They think this world will break us. But every day we survive, we grow stronger." High above, Commander Relic stared at the battle report. His voice was cold and heavy. "Prepare a new plan. If this Deathworld can't kill them, we'll have to." The morning on Corther 7 didn't feel like morning at all. Thick black clouds still hung over the sky. The ground was dry and cracked, with strange green fog creeping along the earth. The air was heavy, filled with the scent of blood and ash. But the humans were still alive. Captain Elias Reeves stepped out of the cave where the children had slept. His face was tired, his skin burned from acid rain, but his eyes burned brighter than ever. "Report," he called. Old Garen limped over. "2 injured, no dead," he said. "The meat from the beasts is tough, but it's food. And Myra's making medicine from some plant goo she found." Reeve gave a small, proud nod. "Good. We move at first light." Liam, the young engineer, ran up carrying a strange metal box. "Captain, I found one of their drones." It was a half-broken alien spy drone, crashed in the storm. Its metal body was scorched, but some of its parts still worked. Reeve crouched beside it. "Can you fix it?" Liam grinned. "Not fix, but I can use its eyes." By midday, Liam had turned the drone's sensor into a motion detector. It sent out a soft humming pulse, showing red dots whenever something moved nearby. "We'll know if anything comes for us again," Liam said proudly. As the humans scavenged for supplies and weapons, strange sounds came from beyond the hills. The ground sometimes shook, and the clouds flickered with odd colors. Dr. Mara Lane studied the land with narrow eyes. "This planet isn't just deadly," she said. "It's alive. It watches. And it learns." That night, the second storm came, but this time it was worse. The wind howled like a monster's scream. Sharp, glowing stones fell from the sky like burning hail. Acid rain turned to thick, sticky fog. Strange, insect-like creatures swarmed from the caves. Flying beasts, with needle-like wings and glowing eyes. The humans fought as best they could. Captain Reeve led a group to build fire traps. They set piles of dry bone and fuel from the crashed ships. When the creatures came, the traps exploded into walls of flame. Garen fought off 2 creatures with a sharpened bone spear. Mira swung a flaming torch, keeping them away from the children's cave. Even young Liam fought, hurling rocks and using a slingshot he built from string and metal wire. But the Deathworld wasn't finished. From the thick fog, a new horror came. A giant beast with hard, stone-like skin, a head like a hammer, and long spiked arms. It moved slower than the others, but it was twice their size and immune to fire dot in orbit. Commander Relic and the Alien Council watched in silence. "This will be the end of them," Relic said coldly. "Nothing survives a Gorma beast." But down on Corther 7, the humans didn't run. Reeve quickly called a plan. "It's too big to fight head-on," he shouted. "We lead it to the ravine." There was a deep, narrow gorge nearby, filled with sharp rocks and hot gas vents. Liam, you and Garen lured in. "Mira, get the children ready to move." The plan was madness, but madness was something humans had always understood. The two men ran into the fog, shouting and throwing fire. The beast chased them, roaring loud enough to shake the ground. When they reached the ravine, Liam ducked behind a rock. Garen hurled a burning stick at the beast's eye, making it roar in rage and charge forward. The last second, both men dove aside. The Gorma beast's heavy body hit the edge, the ground cracked, and the giant monster fell screaming into the steaming, rocky pit below. The sound of its crash echoed for miles. A long, heavy silence followed. Then Captain Reeve raised his hand in a fist. "We live another day," he roared. The humans cheered, weak but proud. In the alien command ship, the officers stared in disbelief. "No species has ever survived this planet," one of them whispered. Commander Relak's face was pale now. He turned to his officers. "Destroy the remaining drones," he ordered. "I don't want them seeing what happens next." But it was too late. Using the parts from the broken drone, Liam sent a short, hacked message back to the Alien Council. "This world belongs to us now." The message sent a wave of fear through the council chambers. Back on the planet, Dr. Mira looked at Reeve. "They won't stop sending things after us," she warned. Reeve's face hardened. "Let them come," he said. "The more they throw at us, the stronger we get." And as the third dawn broke, blood-red and storm-filled, the humans prepared for whatever the Deathworld would throw at them next. The third dawn on Corther 7 was no different from the others. The sky was still black. The clouds still spat acid. Rain. The ground rumbled with hidden dangers. But something had changed. The humans weren't afraid anymore. Captain Elias Reeve stood at the edge of their growing camp, staring at the broken wasteland. Beside him, Dr. Myra Lane held a rough map she'd made using burned wood and scraps of metal. 3 dead ravines to the west, a mountain of bone to the north, and a crater lake that glows at night, Mira said. "This isn't just survival anymore, Reeve. We're starting to claim this place." Reeve's lips curved into a grim smile. "Good. It's time we stop hiding and start fighting back." All around them, the humans were changing. The weak were growing tougher. The wounded returned to work. They built stronger shelters from beast hides and scavenged metal. The weapons they made from stone, bone, and ship parts were crude, but deadly. Even the children had learned how to swing a spear or hurl a stone with precision. And then Liam appeared, his face covered in dirt, but his eyes shining. In his hand, he held a small, blinking device. "I found one of their old signal beacons," Liam grinned. "It's weak, but I can use it." Reeve raised an eyebrow. "Use it for what?" "To talk to the others," Liam said, "for the first time since." Arriving, they realized they might not be the only exiled humans on this planet. Corther 7 was massive. The aliens had used it for years as a graveyard for the unwanted and the dangerous. But no one had ever survived long enough to send a message. Until now. Within hours, Liam got the beacon working. A weak, crackling voice came through the static. "Is anyone alive? This is Sector D12. We have survivors." The humans cheered. Reeve grabbed the device. "This is Captain Alice Reeve, survivors from Epsilon Drop Zone. We're alive. And we're coming." Back in orbit, Commander Relic was informed of the communication. They've made contact. An alien officer said, his voice tight with fear. Relac's face twisted. Wipe out all zones. Burn the planet if you have to. But the Deathworld no longer belonged to the aliens. The humans moved swiftly. Reeve gathered a small team. Myra, Garen, Liam, and 3 others. Armed with bone spears, crude shields, and fire weapons, they set out toward the other survivor group. Along the way, they learned more about the planet. The Deathworld had patterns. Certain areas were safe from acid rain. Some caves were rich, with blue crystal that repelled the flying beasts. Strange fruit grew near steaming vents, dangerous to touch, but when boiled, it became edible. The planet wasn't just a prison. It was a challenge, and humans had always loved a challenge. They began setting traps for the beasts, pits filled with sharpened spikes, stonefall traps made from piled rocks, and firewalls of burning branches. One night, as a herd of 4-legged predators approached, the humans led them straight into a series of flame pits. The beasts howled in pain and fear as the humans picked them off one by one. When it was over, Reeve wiped blood from his face. "We're not prey anymore," he said. Mira nodded. "No," she agreed. "We're predators now." At the same time, more human survivor groups made contact through Liam's beacon. Broken, scattered families and soldiers who'd held out in caves and wrecks began moving toward Reeve's growing camp. Within days, their numbers doubled. The aliens in orbit panicked. "They're gathering," an officer cried. "They're organizing." Commander Relic knew what it meant. He ordered a final strike, a squad of battle drones and war beasts, the deadliest weapons the Empire had. But when the attack came, it didn't go as planned. The humans were ready. Traps lined the narrow valley. Spears of sharpened bone and metal waited in hidden pits. Fires burned on both sides, creating walls of heat and smoke. The battle drones entered and were quickly destroyed by the combined traps and human weapons. The war beasts charged, only to fall into deep ravines, covered by woven nets and branches. It wasn't a battle. It was a massacre. From a high ledge, Captain Reeve watched it all, his face hard. "This is our world now," he growled at last. As the last drone was crushed under a rockfall, Liam hacked a captured drone's transmitter and sent a message. "Directly to the Alien Council. We warned you." Back on the command ship, Commander Relic stood in stunned silence as the message played. And for the first time, the aliens realized. The Deathworld hadn't killed the humans. It had made them stronger. Asterisk, asterisk. The fourth dawn came, red and heavy. The air was thick with smoke from burning wreckage and beast carcasses. The humans of Corther 7 were no longer a scattered, broken people. They were an army. Captain Elias Reeve stood before a group of tough, weathered survivors. Men and women with scars, burns, and hard eyes. Each one held a weapon, some made from sharpened bone, others from broken nettle and beast claws. Dr. Myra Lane pointed to a rough map scratched into the dirt. "We've tracked down an alien. Outpost 2 valleys north. Small, lightly guarded. It controls 3 drone towers and 1 emergency relay station." Reeve's face hardened. "We take it." Liam stepped forward, excitement in his voice. "If we capture that station, we can send a message across the sector. Maybe even hijack one of their orbiting ships." A murmur of approval rippled through the survivors. Back in orbit, Commander Relic was growing desperate. Every report brought worse news. More humans had survived than expected. They were uniting, fighting back, and now targeting alien outposts. "Planet's killing our troops faster than it kills them," one officer whispered. Relic slammed his fist on the table. "I want those humans crushed. Send everything we have left." But the aliens were running out of resources. And time. That night, under cover of acid rain and thick fog, Captain Reeve led his strike team toward the alien outpost. Every footstep was silent. They moved like ghosts through the steaming wasteland. The alien guards, sure the Deathworld itself would kill any attackers, were careless. Only a few patrol drones circled the perimeter. Old Garan grunted as he swung a chain made from beast tendons, pulling a drone from the sky with a snap. Mira disabled a sensor node with a precise strike of a jagged stone. Within minutes, the humans reached the outpost walls. Reeve gave the signal. A pair of young fighters hurled burning sacks of flammable plant oil into the watchtowers. The flames spread quickly, catching the guards by surprise. Panic broke out. Alien soldiers shouted orders, but before they could react, the humans charged. Bone spears pierced armor. Burning branches crashed into fuel stores. The Deathworld had taught the humans not just how to fight, but how to win. In the chaos, Liam sprinted to the communication console inside the relay station. Sweat poured down his face as he rewired cables and smashed alien controls. A green light blinked. "It's open." Liam shouted. Captain Reeve grabbed the transmitter. His voice was cold and clear. "To the Galactic Council, you failed. You tried to bury us, but we are still here, and we are coming for you." Across the planet, surviving human groups who still had stolen devices and sensors picked up the message. Cheers erupted. For the first time in years, hope wasn't just a word, it was real. The alien soldiers at the outpost fled into the fog, leaving their weapons and equipment behind. The Deathworld hadn't just killed their courage, it had broken their will. At dawn, Reeve stood on the high wall of the captured outpost. Behind him, a crude human flag made of stitched beast hides flapped in the wind. It showed a simple image, a fist raised against a storm. Dr. Mira joined him, her face smudged with ash. "They'll send reinforcements soon," she warned. Reeve smirked. "Let them. We've got their weapons now." And more survivors on the way. That day, groups of scattered humans arrived at the outpost. Soldiers, mechanics, even an old farmer who had survived alone in a cave for weeks. Their numbers grew. With captured alien rifles, drone parts, and the knowledge of the land, the humans prepared for what came next. They wouldn't just survive anymore. They would conquer. In orbit. Commander Relic stared at the latest report. Alien Outpost 17 lost -73% of drone systems. Disabled. Human presence. Expanding fear showed in his alien eyes. "Contact the Council," he said quietly, "and tell them we've lost control of Corther 7. The officer hesitated. "And the humans, sir?" Raylak's voice was hollow. "They've become something worse than we imagined." Down on the planet, Captain Reeve looked to the burning horizon. "Next, we take the skies," he murmured. The fifth dawn on Corther 7 was like no other. Thick clouds rolled across the sky, glowing red with the light of fires below. The ground trembled with distant explosions. The air smelled of ash, smoke, and fear, but not from the humans, from the aliens. Inside the captured outpost, Captain Elias Reeve stood at a long table made of scrap metal. Around him, humans from every surviving camp listened closely. Old soldiers, scavengers, hunters, even children, all of them hardened by the Deathworld. Dr. Mira Lane pointed to a rough map drawn on animal hide. "The last alien command ship is still in low orbit," she explained. "It controls what's left of the drones and can call for reinforcements." Reeve's jaw tightened. "Then we take it." A murmur of surprise spread through the room. "Take a ship?" someone whispered. "But we don't even have a shuttle." Liam stepped forward, a grin on his dirty face. "We do now." From the wreckage of downed alien dropships, Liam and a team of engineers had built something new. A crude, ugly craft made from stolen parts and beast bones. It was barely spaceworthy, but it had weapons and shields. "We call her the Iron Fang," Liam said proudly. Reeves' eyes gleamed. "It'll do." That night, under the cover of another storm, the humans launched their attack. The Iron Fang roared into the sky, fire trailing behind it. On the ground, the humans fired captured alien rifles and spears at the remaining drone towers, causing chaos. In orbit, Commander Relic was already preparing to leave. "They've taken out half our fleet," an officer stammered. "Their ship is heading this way." Relac's face was pale. "Impossible," he whispered. "They're just humans." But humans had always been more than what others believed. The Iron Fang burst through the storm clouds and locked its weapons on the alien command ship. Liam sat at the controls, sweat pouring down his face as alarm screamed. "Shields up," Mira ordered. "Fire everything." Explosions rocked the alien ship as human-made weapons, crafted from stolen cannons and energy cores, struck its engines. Fires spread through its hulls. On the ground, the humans cheered as the ship began to fall from orbit, a burning comet streaking across the blood-red sky. Commander Relic, watching his empire crumble, gave his final order. "Evacuate," he said in a broken voice. "Get us off this cursed world." But it was too late. The humans stormed the landing sites, capturing retreating alien soldiers and securing crates of weapons and supplies. The ground shook as the alien command ship crashed into a distant mountain, sending fire and dust into the sky. At the ruined alien council chamber on Corther 7, Captain Reeve planted a flag, a rough cloth stitched from beast hides and ship metal. On it, a single symbol, a human hand crushing a chain. The message was clear. This world belongs to humanity. By dusk, no alien forces remained on Corther 7. The Deathworld had a new ruler. Inside the captured alien base, Liam sent one final message. Across the galactic network, to every world that cast us out, to every empire that feared us, we are still here, and we are coming home. The transmission spread like wildfire through space. Across distant colonies and alien strongholds, beings whispered in fear. They survived the Deathworld. They conquered it. They're coming for us. Back on the planet, the humans gathered at a great fire. There were scars, missing limbs, and weary faces, but there was also laughter. Children played with beast skulls. Soldiers cleaned their weapons, and families rebuilt their homes. Dr. Mira sat beside Reeve. "We did it," she said softly. Reeve nodded. "This was never their world," he said. "It was our trial. And we passed." Above them, the stars burned bright in the night sky, and among them, the scattered remains of alien ships. Old Garan raised a drink made from strange fermented fruit. "To the ones who thought they could bury us," he shouted. The humans cheered. The Deathworld was no longer a place of exile. It was a fortress, a new beginning, a warning to every other species in the galaxy. Humanity was back. And this time, no one would stop the asterisk. The fires of victory still burned on Corther 7, but Captain Elias Reeve was already thinking beyond the Deathworld. He stood on a high cliff, watching the remains of the alien command ship smolder in the valley below. The thick black smoke curled into the blood-red sky. Around him, the survivors, no, the new warriors of humanity, rebuilt their weapons, trained their young, and shaped what was once a prison into a fortress. Dr. Mira Lane approached, carrying a battered alien tablet. "Need to see this," she said. Reeve took the device and stared at the flickering display. It showed star charts, ship routes, and supply bases, a map of the alien empire's closest territories. One mark flashed red, Orith Prime, Myra explained. A major alien station. Heavy defenses, multiple patrols. But there's something else. She tapped the screen. A small file opened. Human prisoners, she said. Hundreds of them. Ones they never sent here. Reeves' eyes narrowed. They kept them alive? Used them as labor, test subjects, trophies. A low, dangerous silence followed Dot at the fire pit below. Old Garen hammered a jagged blade into shape. Liam tested salvaged alien blasters, rewiring them with scraps of ship metal and beast blood for fuel. Reeve clenched his fist. We leave at dawn. Mira looked at him. It won't be like fighting beasts in the dark. This is space. Enemy fleets. Warships. Reeve's gaze was steady. We've fought worse. On this planet, we faced storms that ate flesh. Monsters the size of buildings. We bled, we lost, we rose again. Now, it's their turn to bleed. Message was sent to every surviving human camp across Corther 7. Fighters gathered. Engineers rebuilt captured shuttles and alien transports. The Iron Fang was repaired and reinforced with armor made from beast bone and alien steel. For the first time in years, humanity prepared to leave the Deathworld, not as prisoners, but as an invading force. On the other side of space, word of the fall of Corther 7 spread fast. Alien fleets scrambled, borders locked down, and the Galactic Council gathered in Fear.High. Overseer Viker, one of the Council's oldest and cruelest leaders, slammed his fist on the table. How is this possible? He demanded. They were meant to die on that cursed world. They didn't, came the reply from a trembling officer. They took it. And now they're coming. Ships were sent. Weapons readied. Fortresses reinforced. But it wouldn't be enough. At the launch site on Corther 7, Captain Reeve addressed his people. This is no longer about survival, he said. It's about vengeance. It's about taking back our place in the stars. And it starts tonight. The humans cheered. A storm rose overhead, but no one flinched. One by one, the captured and rebuilt ships roared into the sky. The Iron Fang led the fleet, its hull scorched, but its weapons sharp. On its nose, a new symbol had been painted, a blood-red fist crushing. A serpent, the sign of humanity's return. In the control room, Liam grinned at the sensors. Picking up alien patrols ahead, he said. 3 fighters, 1 transport. Reeves' voice was calm. Target them. No mercy. In a swift, brutal strike, the alien ships were destroyed. Debris burned in orbit as the human fleet pressed. Forward. At Orth Prime. Alarms blared. Enemy ships approaching. But it's impossible. No Deathworld prisoners have ever. A volley of stolen alien plasma cannons struck the station's shields. The humans landed, weapons ready, faces grim. The aliens fought hard, but they had grown soft, spoiled by years of easy victories. The humans, shaped by Corther 7, were unstoppable. In a matter of hours. Orth Prime fell. The human prisoners were freed. The flag of Earth, torn, faded, and stained, was raised over the station. At dawn, Captain Reeve sent another message across the galaxy. We were exiled. You buried us. You forgot us. But now we rise. The age of humanity has returned. Across space, old human colonies lit beacon fires. Secret resistance cells emerged, and the scattered pieces of Earth's people began to move as one. The Deathworld hadn't been humanity's grave. It had been their rebirth, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Asterisk.